Oh, come in. He's not in the best of moods, I'm afraid. And what's more...
I know. I got held up.
Stickler about the time he is. Stickler about blooming everything.
Miss McGillivray? Or should I say, the late Miss McGillivray? I'm H.G. Wells.
Have you read all those books?
So I'd have people believe. This shelf here, I wrote that one. How is Arthur, then? The human dynamo that powers the Sunday Chronicle.
Oh, a hard man to work for. He calls me his rising star, but so far this is the first big chance he's thrown my way.
His rising star, yes, he used just that phrase when he rang me. So, what do you want of me, Miss McGillivray? My views on the atom bomb, where mankind is going, if mankind is going anywhere at all, which seems to me increasingly doubtful.
Nothing like that. It's about the past. About a friend of yours. Professor Gibbon.
Gibbon? No. He was a most remarkable fellow. Obituaries didn't tell half of it.
Well, that's the half I want to write about. Starting with his early life, try to get a picture of the man in full. From someone who really knew him.
Gibbon. Not many left now. From those days.
Jane. Would that be?
Dearest Jane. You've done some of your homework then, I see. I'd like to help you, Miss McGillivray, but trawling round in the past, when such a short and solitary future faces me, I don't know.
It would be my first big story as a writer. Surely you remember that.
Oh, yes. I've made my mind up. Ellen McGillivray. I shall pour us both a fine single malt in honour of your country. And then when the rain has eased, I shall send you on your way. And in between those two things, I shall give you your blasted story. A story the like of which the world has never heard.
Miss Robbins, Jane, please wait.
Well, we've been to tea rooms, we've been to pleasure gardens, and although I enjoy your company well enough and more, the truth is we seem to disagree about everything under the sun.
That is completely untrue.
You see?
I was joking.
Wretched clock's still not fixed. I bet I'm going to be late. Look, I've only just started my job here. I don't need the distraction.
Me, a distraction?
Good morning, Dean.
Yes, morning, Dean.
Morning. Morning. Morning.
You shouldn't be here at all anyway. This is a scientific institution. You can't just go wandering in and out.
And that rule, does it apply to small furry rodents?
You're going to catch it for this, Billy.
I never did nothing, honest.
All the mice blooming legged it.
And the guinea pigs.
I told you to be careful looking up.
I did so too.
If you hurry, Mr. Herbert, you can at least intercept the guinea pigs. They're heading down the east corridor.
Thank you, miss. Go on then, Billy. Get after them. Double quick. All right. Double quick.
What's happening?
It's a lecture.
Good morning. Thank you.
Professor Gibbon on certain aspects of dendritic branching in the cerebellum. I think you'll enjoy it.
This morning we are going to be talking about the functions of the brain. Mr. Whittaker and I have a little surprise for you later, which you might all enjoy. It is established fact that the pathways that convey visual information to the cortex are dendritic. One way and another, all things being equal. An experimental result, I'm sure you'll agree, that throws all kinds of new light on nervous physiology and rearranges the theory of vision into a perfectly new shape. Knocks 6 kinds of hell out of it, in fact. And now that I've got the boring damn guff out of the way, let's get to the experiment itself. Mr. Whittaker. Using the very latest electrovoltaic spectrograph, I shall now pass an electric charge through the crystals in question, and you shall see for yourself the change. Ooh.
Really damn good, this.
Professor Gibbon, are you all right? Professor?
There's no room for error in the experiment. The professor and I carried out the process a dozen times.
The equipment?
I checked it myself, sir.
Oh, my dear fellow. He'll be all right, won't he, Jane? Can I do something?
Help him to that chair, would you, Mark?
God, all right.
I hear a boom, and I worry.
Sit down, Professor.
I hear a boom from one of Professor Gibbon's lectures, and I fear the worst. Any dead? Any injured?
Only the professor. He's slightly out of it.
I shall resist the obvious comment. What caused the explosion?
There was no explosion. Can't have been.
I'll rephrase the question. What caused the non-explosion that I didn't hear halfway across the building, that didn't blow the doors off their hinges, and that failed to destroy the single most costly item of scientific apparatus in the entire college?
Girl, it's just not right. There's not a trace of it left. There should be debris.
I must congratulate you both, then, on a singularly thorough job of demolition. We will speak, Professor Gibbon. You and I.
Well, Masterman will huff and puff himself out like an autumn squall, Cedric. Mark my words, always does. I had trouble with him myself.
There wasn't an explosion we witnessed.
What do you mean?
Look at the doors. The smaller door blown outwards, but the main door blown inwards. Why wasn't it blown outwards?
Oh, come. Well, the waves radiating out from the epicenter of the explosion from the point of view of physics, a complex structure like this room, there's 1,000 ways it could intersect.
And the windows?
Nothing happened to them.
Exactly.
I don't believe I know you, sir. Are you part of the faculty?
An interested observer.
Now, maybe you have raised an intriguing point about those doors after all. I'll give it some thought. It's good to have the input of the man in the street from time to time. Right. I would suggest a cold compress to the head, Professor Gibbon, and some rest. Take care of him, dear. Usual place then, Jane? Usual time, 5 o'clock?
I'll be there, Mark.
I've got some very important things to tell you. Got to rush. Excuse me?
Always in a hurry, Dr. Radcliffe.
Mark, you mean? I seem to have made a bit of an ass of myself, Miss Robbins. I suppose it would be best if I ceased to be a distraction to you.
The windows. Tell me about the windows, Wells. I really would like to know.
An explosion would have shattered them. Even the man in the street knows that. And one does rather wonder about the mice. Goodbye, Miss Robbins.
Poor Jane.
Poor Jane? What about poor me?
Mr. Wells? I'm ashamed. Out of all the scientists at my lecture, it seems that the one man without formal qualifications is the only one to have anything useful to say about what happened. I'm lucky that someone had the good sense to pass your comments on.
I'm not sure how I can help you. Who mentioned me?
Step forward. Come on. You know each other, of course? Gibbon. Cedric Gibbon. Maybe come in? One of those fantastic yarns of yours, I dare say?
I've published a few pieces.
Miss Robbins told me. Turned out I'd read one of them myself.
Oh. What did you make of it?
Oh, science, all wrong. Ideas, crazy. Plausibility, ho-hum. All in all, I loved it. Science is just one slightly less wrong guess after another, after all. The crazy ideas, they're the best ones. And what could be more implausible than gravity or X-rays? Think you've got it right, Wells. Like it if you join me. Got a missing spectrograph to explain, and maybe something much stranger than that. You in or out?
In.
Good man. You two can work together. I mean, you're already... Yes? My first thought is ball lightning. It can take on the most striking forms. There was no storm, of course, and the weather was unusually hot, but that in itself...
Not in July, sir. The odds diminished towards 0. I checked the relevant meteorological data. I anticipated you on ball lightning.
Anticipated me? Huh? Dash it all, Whittaker. Sometimes think you and I should change places. Your comment, please, sir.
Well, a great force passed through the room, like a wind. And if not quite like ball lightning, then an electrical discharge all the same. Now, I wondered about our supply of electricity. The dry cell? Some sympathetic interference from another experiment?
Bellows. Old Barmy Bellows with his damn dynamo down the corridor, you mean? Brilliant, Whittaker.
Ah.
Oh.
For the past 3 weeks, Mr. Bellows has in fact been on a fishing holiday in the West Highlands of Scotland.
Wells, anything from you?
If there was nothing wrong with the experiment, no other influence on it, no other force of nature that can be brought in as explanation, I'd start with the mice.
Mice. Professor Gibbon, a few moments of your time, if you please.
Tell me what you heard exactly?
A bang light as I come down the corridor.
Says he. And the door of the cage?
The sprinklets were lying on the floor.
Leastways, we got the guinea pigs back.
What about the mice?
Didn't see a trace of them.
As if, like the spectrograph, they vanished into thin air.
It's funny, though. Billy's a careful lad. It's just been one weird thing after another.
How do you mean?
Ah, there he is. Mr. Todd?
Yes?
Mr. Wells.
I am a biologist by training, but it is not the study of life which interests me, Mr. Wells. It is the study of death. More exactly, the place where the two states meet. The Shadowlands.
You spoke of a poltergeist?
Just one of many names for a denizen of the Shadowlands.
And such a being, you believe, is at large in Imperial College?
I have hopes, Mr. Wells, I have hopes. For the last 2 days, the college has been, if you will, haunted by the inexplicable. Strange noises, doors banging, rooms which should have been locked found unlocked. It all started with the lights.
Tell me.
Needing only little sleep. Small privilege of age. I had worked late before I set off for my lodgings. I left the college in darkness. But as I looked back...
And what explanation can you offer?
I can offer no explanation that fits within the current knowledge of the world. But I hypothesize a spirit, a creature from the Shadowlands, perhaps crying out in the anguish of non-existence. I'm here! I'm here! I'm here!
A creature from the Shadowlands, he said.
Bunkum, say I. But I believe he saw what he said he saw, all right. What interests me is why have all these strange occurrences happened in just the last 2 days? If there was a tradition of haunting, that might be different.
Where now?
Where do you think?
Hello? Can I help you, sir?
Yes, the damage to the clock. I was wondering if you could tell us what you found.
Well, you'll hardly believe it when I tell you, sir. Come up and have a look. Through there it came. It took me the best part of a day to sniff it out. It went straight through the main regulator, missed the balance wheel, sheared the feed drive, hit the paddles, and then went on to shear the wires of the bell.
What did?
A lightning bolt.
Oh?
A bullet?
Oh. This.
A cricket ball?
A cricket ball that's been put in a fire.
How could a cricket ball make its way through solid brick?
Oh, something to pass down to the kids, this is. A unique phenomenon.
Someone could have shot it like a shell from a cannon.
I think Mr. Todd might have noticed such an unusual addition to the scenery of Imperial College. But where would a cannon or a cricketer with the strength of Hercules be positioned?
Look, Wells. The Brownlow Tower. Wells.
Something's jamming it.
Obviously.
Bellamy's meat pies. Processed peas. Why would anyone store empty cans?
Miss Robbins? Mr. Wells?
I was hoping, Whittaker, you could help us. It's a simple enough thing. So everyone books it in advance?
That's right. You have to put your name down. Wait, you can see for yourself.
Gibbon, quite a regular user.
That's right.
And Mark Radcliffe, too.
Yes, we've had some clashes of schedule with Dr. Radcliffe, both wanting the instrument at the same time.
Who won the clashes?
Oh, Professor Gibbon and myself. I adjusted 1 or 2 entries to create the impression we had the prior booking.
How very, very...
pragmatic is the word I like to use.
You and Gibbon, you must make a formidable team. And Dr. Radcliffe really is the only person, aside from Gibbon, who has a regular need for this device.
So it would seem.
Are you sure you're not just picking on Mark?
Mark's an intelligent man. Perhaps Mark can help.
Mark? Mark?
Good morning, Jane.
Mark.
Mr. Wells, can I help you? I'm really not sure how useful I can be to your detective work, Mr. Wells. I used the spectrograph 3 or 4 times to analyze certain compounds.
And, what were you researching, Dr. Radcliffe?
The experiments concerned the stimulation of the nervous system.
By means of a nerve tonic?
That's right. The details are very technical.
Well, I should love to hear them all the same.
The work reached a dead end, much as my career at Imperial College has just done.
Mark, what are you talking about?
The faculty have decided not to renew my tenure. In plain English, Mr. Wells, I'm out on my elbow. I was going to tell you later. It's not all bad news, Jane. I promise you that. You can consult my notes if you care to, Mr. Wells. Though I doubt whether you'll make much of them.
No, I've found out what I need to know. Thank you. Jane, let's not interrupt Mark any longer.
5 o'clock then, Jane?
Yes, Mark.
Where are we going?
Tea break.
And what did you mean about finding out what you needed to know?
I just wanted to see if I could wipe the smile off his face.
No.
Shall I be mother?
Thank you.
For a man who just lost his job, Radcliffe seems remarkably sanguine.
Perhaps he's got another one lined up. He's not easily discouraged.
There's something he's not telling us, I'm sure of it.
He has got a secretive side to him, I admit.
What's so special about Radcliffe, anyway?
He's a keen brain. He's fun to be with. He's...
Am I so boring?
Oh, Wells, it's not that simple, of course. It's just that... Well, you can't help who you happen to be attracted to or when you happen to meet them. If I'd met you sooner, things might have been different. They really might. I'm sorry.
Miss. Bill, please. My turn to pay for tea. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. Thank you.
5
What next?
Never mind to drop the whole thing. It was my thought that if I could solve this puzzle, I might impress you.
You did. Wells?
The hummingbirds, look at them.
What is it?
Their wings move so fast. They become invisible.
So?
Come on. Got you. Very shortly, I think I can tell you what happened to the spectrograph.
Wells! What is it? Don't be so damn mysterious.
It is all a matter of time. I have a question or two for Dr. Radcliffe.
Please don't make a fool of yourself.
Wells, Miss Robbins, the most remarkable thing has happened. Upon my word, yes. Ah, yes, the spectrograph. It's back in the cabinet. Whittaker found it. It's all locked up, as if it had never been anywhere at all. So what do you make of that?
It can't be. I still need a word with Radcliffe.
Good idea.
Dr. Radcliffe? Dr. Radcliffe! Dr. Radcliffe!
Wells, what happened to Mark? Where did he go? He just disappeared into thin air.
Not quite.
You have an idea? A theory?
Oh, yes, and to demonstrate it, I want your help. I need a sample of the nerve tonic Radcliffe was working on, the research that went nowhere.
Well, the normal procedure is to store all the reagents in a cool box.
Oh, damn! We saw the experiment set up here earlier. What's happened to it?
The lab was being cleaned out as we came in. And at the end of every experiment...
End of every experiment. Come on.
What is it?
At the end of every experiment, the glassware is cleaned and sterilised. Wait a moment, Tompkins. Whatever this stuff is, it bears only a passing connection with the experiments Radcliffe reported to the college.
So he was hiding something?
I'm sure he had a good reason for it.
Oh, I'm sure he did too.
You insinuate away to your heart's content. I'm going to ask the man himself. It's getting on for 5 o'clock.
You think he'll come?
He said he would. That's good enough for me.
The dose was minute. What's your theory, Wells?
Don't take your eyes off the guinea pig.
Good God.
I knew it. It was an invisible man all along.
Not at all. Him I made up. This is true. And far more remarkable than mere invisibility.
What's happened to you, old chap?
Food given. It needs food.
Lord, you're so hungry.
You'd be hungry if you'd been shut in your office for a week. Radcliffe research.
Into nerve tonics, yes. He had a notion you could speed up people's reactions, even speed up people's thoughts.
But the effect of these tonics was local and unequal. I read it in his own notes. This tonic speeded everything up to a fantastic degree, such that this guinea pig was accelerated to a speed where it became invisible.
An accelerator?
Measure out the same dose, Gibbon.
You can't be serious.
For me, the dose will be even more minute. That's safe enough, surely.
But we need to do more tests.
We don't. Mark Radcliffe has already done them. He's accelerated himself on at least 3 occasions, by my count. The wind that blew through your lecture theatre, caused by a man moving faster than the eye can see. I'll prove it to you. The accelerator, Gibbon.
I'm damned if I'm missing out on this. Well, nothing out of the way. A slight feeling of exhilaration. Sounds. Things are still. By Jove, yes. Look! An experiment, Wells. Roughly speaking, an object falls 16 feet in the first second, as that rod is doing right now. Only from the point of view of our accelerated state, it has not yet fallen 100th part of a second.
Careful, Gibbon. Think of the momentum we impart to objects when we move at this speed.
Those doors that slammed open.
Quite. Let's go outside. Carefully. Why not? Not a soul can see us. 2 nights ago, when Radcliffe made the breakthrough, after he'd wandered the halls and laboratories of Imperial College, in his exhilaration, he grabbed a ball, like this, and hurled it into the clock tower. He'd stopped time.
Like this?
Gibbon, no! Try to exercise some restraint, Gibbon.
Air friction set the ball on fire.
Indeed it did. With the accelerator in us, we have the strength of giants, the speed of gods.
The cracking sound in the lecture theatre. This is mere speculation. When we move above a slow pace, we move faster than sound itself. The shock waves of our passing are projected outwards and backwards, felt and heard a fraction of a second later.
Just think of the possibilities. While a second passes for these people, an hour, more than an hour, passes for us. With the accelerator, you could do a month's work in the span of a minute.
You could write a whole book in a minute or two. Or a whole shelf load of them.
The saddest 2 words in the English language, Miss McGillivray.
Tell me.
If only. I wonder, though. Not so easy.
And Radcliffe. He took the accelerator and vanished from his laboratory. But where did he go to?
I think the answer is here at Imperial College.
Astonishing. Simply astonishing. One could do anything. If I went into a bank, I could grow rich in an instant.
Gibbon, you're a respected academic.
Well, on an academic's pay. Very well. If you're going to take a moralistic line, steal the money, invest it, and repay the capital 6 months later as undetectably as it was removed. One could change society within a week with this substance. The redistribution of wealth made real. Ah. Dean. Good morning to you too. Oh, very well. Thank you for asking.
You came to find Radcliffe.
Yes, but how do we find him?
Just a moment. The guinea pig. His food.
Tinned food? Guinea pig? Tinned food? What is he driving at?
Dr. Radcliffe.
Oh, God. So long without a human touch. No one to speak to.
What's happened to you, man?
It was 3:30 in your time. In your today, you saw me vanish from the laboratory. For me, it's 50 long years ago now.
What went wrong?
The accelerator didn't wear off.
50 years.
Up until that final time. The doses I took lasted no more than 3 or 4 minutes, 2 of real time, giving me a good few days of accelerated time. I recall now, on one of these occasions, I needed the spectrograph. And I took it from your very arms, Cedric.
Really damn good, this.
Beg your pardon?
Knocking you down in the process. I'm so sorry, old man. I've learned to be less clumsy since. When I heard my tenure wasn't to be renewed, in my arrogance I was unconcerned. For I had just discovered the accelerator. I used it to speed up my research. Sometimes borrowing equipment or taking experimental animals.
Ah, nice.
Even using other people's laboratories if I needed other resources. For I knew, you see, there were problems with the accelerator's stability, with how it interacted with the user. I believed I could do anything. I slept and ate up in this disused room. I was determined to eliminate all the problems before I released the accelerator to the world. Oh, I had such dreams. The whole process of education changed. Work itself changed. People would be able to lead 12 lives, pursue 1,000 interests, all in the space of one ordinary mortal life.
It's not like that, is it? The problems of physics.
When I realized I was trapped, I did all I could to find an antidote, a retarder, to no avail. The stuff had affected the very cells of my body. I have lived the bulk of my life like a mayfly. On a sunny afternoon between 3:30 and nearly 5 o'clock, September the 17th, 1893. I have lived in a world of statues, a world of wonders that soon grow stale. I studied nature for some years. So many opportunities to observe. It's so hard to record the information and not a soul to share it with. I'm so tired. Beyond all imagining.
There's not a scientist alive, Radcliffe.
Who's made a discovery like yours?
Oh, God. You're slowing down. Oh, please don't leave me here. My joints freezing. My heart wearing out. My mind spinning.
We're back to real time.
It's Mark, isn't it? Something's wrong.
Yes.
Tell me, Wells, what's happened. Where is Mark?
He's not coming. I'll tell you everything I know. The body was found a day later and laid out in the college chapel. No trace of the laboratory or the accelerator remained.
He destroyed all his work.
And who could blame him? Sufficient, Miss McGillivray?
Very much so.
I'll arrange for that cab.
There's just one more thing I'd like to ask you. Do you recognise this?
Where did you get this? It was lent to me a lifetime ago.
Who was Arthur Brownlow?
It seems to me as though you have some questions to answer yourself, Miss McGillivray. Arthur Brownlow. Now, he had the most fantastic adventure that perhaps any man in the universe could have.
All clear, Mr. Brownlow.
Thank you.
Goes into the Royal Oak Public House. Barrel of IPA up from the cellar.
Is it coming back to you now?
Not in the slightest. I have to depend entirely on my notes. You see, Miss McGillivray, I have no actual recollection of these events at all.
How could that be, Mr. Wells?
Because the things that happened... How shall I put this? At the same time, didn't happen at all. You'll see in due course. Goes into the Royal Oak Public House.
We're going to need another barrel from the cellar, Mr. Best.
We've got enough beer for tonight. Evening, Mr. Brownlow. The usual?
Thank you, Denzel.
And the Queen, and the King, and the Ace. Warm enough for you?
Oh, I don't mind what it is, of course, sir. I'm down underground all day.
All right for some?
Pint the usual, please, Denzel.
You'll pay on a nail if you do.
How do you mean?
Your credits run dry, yeah?
Your credits run dry here.
Is this a joke?
Is what, Joe?
Oh, are you in on this?
What?
I wish I knew. Where'd you spring from?
I was having a drink with Leslie Gammond in the saloon bar. I saw you come in. You're Arthur. Done it well, mate.
No, I had a bit of an accident at work. Feel a bit empty. But, you know, sometimes you feel like sort of everything that's happened has happened before.
Like when my missus nicks my wage packet every week.
No, I'm serious, Chance. It's been like that since I left work this evening. It's eerie.
You mean like, you know everything that's going to happen before it happened?
Yeah, but it's going on and on. Denzel's going to say, Maggie, you've been on to the suite about this blasted chimney in a minute.
Maggie, you been on to the sweep about this blasted chimney?
How did you do that?
Didn't do anything. Just happened. Keeps.
What's that?
It's not Captain.
Of course it is. Leslie Gammond bought him a bowl of stout. You love your stout, don't you, Captain, eh?
Captain's dead, he's dead. Knocked down by the cart last week.
What are you talking about?
Don't know what you all think you're playing at. Suppose you think it's clever. Well, you've all done it now. I know as well as the rest of you, the captain got run down last week. I was there and you was there. I'm surprised at you making a joke of it. Evening, Mr. McMahon.
Your supper will be ready in a minute.
I think I'll go straight to bed, Mrs. McMahon.
What, no supper?
No. Good night.
Good night.
How do you spell Parliament?
Mr. Wells is in the office, sir.
Mr. Wells. How dare you, sir? How dare you insult my intelligence with this pseudo-scientific drivel? I ask you for 1,000 words on a romantic theme, and you give me 3,000 about an impossible nerve tonic. A nerve tonic. It's you that have the nerve, Mr. Wells. Get out!
Mr. Harris, if I might just explain myself and my story.
Out, Mr. Wells! Be gone, sir!
If you put it like that.
Cut through at this point, you will find the heart, which is situated in the pericardial blood sinus, with which it communicates by the little valvular openings or ostia. 2 minutes. In the smaller crustacea, there is no heart and no circulation in the proper sense of the word.
I hope you don't mind me calling for you at the college.
There was really no need. I hadn't forgotten our arrangement, Wells. Come on, I'm due back in an hour. Why the long face?
You always said Frank Harris was a deeply unsympathetic man anyway.
He has had as much heart as one of your smaller crustacea. Probably the same goes for his brains. What I don't understand is how does a man like that become editor of the Saturday Review? Damnation! Five short stories. All I've had printed. Some writer.
5 more than a lot of would-be writers. 5 more than when you started.
Another thing, I haven't had an idea for days. Not even a glimpse of one.
Stories, your sort of stories are everywhere, Wells.
Oh, that's what you say.
However fantastic they are, they're based on ordinary life. And ordinary life is it's all around us.
Honestly, so please up the
I bet there's a story not a dozen yards from where we're sitting.
Hello, Molly. All right, Arthur. Are you coming down Kempton Park? I've got a couple of tips from this stable lad I know.
Oh, not again. Not again.
What's up?
I'm not going, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, study the buffs. I'm sorry, Molly.
I wonder what his problem was.
That's more like it. If you want help, Wells, I'll give it to you.
Really?
Half and half? Same time tomorrow? I've got a notion, you'll see.
Same time tomorrow.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
Could I have quiet for a moment, please? I want to apologise to one and all for my outbreak last night. I wasn't myself. As anyone who knows me well will be able to tell you. I'd had this accident, see, and I was feeling a bit peculiar.
It's all right, Arthur. Yeah, don't worry, mate.
Yeah, you know what I do. I'm an electrical maintenance man on the underground.
Oh, we thought you was a Lord Mayor.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, what happened was I had this tremendous shock off one of the generators. An electrical shock. Threw me right across the room.
Oh, you don't get that with the old horse buses.
Come on, mate. I'll buy you a drink.
No, I got to explain, you see, I owe it to you. See, I've been trying to work this out. I think I know the answer. See, what happened was, when I had this tremendous electrical shock, it propelled me into the future for a time, and then I come back again.
Propelled you into the what?
Into the future. That's how I know what's going to happen all the time. That's how I knew about Captain being run over.
But he hasn't been run over.
Not yet. It's Saturday afternoon that happens.
All right. What's going to happen next, then?
Well, I don't know. No, I can't know, because me telling you is changing it. I knew what Denzel said, didn't I, about the fireplace?
Yeah. Well, that could have been a lucky guess. All right. You say that Charlie's dog is going to get run down on Saturday. So all the time up to Saturday at least, you must have lived before, as it were, in the future.
I suppose so, yeah.
So you tell us something that's going to happen tomorrow, like.
Here, I'm not having this. You'll be telling fortunes next.
Here, tell us who's going to win the 330.
I'm not telling fortunes.
Fortune telling is expressly forbidden by the terms of my licence. Now then.
Look, all I'm Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Look, I will prove it to you. I'll be here tomorrow dinner time. And I'll prove it to you. And I'll prove it to you, all right? Mr. McManaman! Mrs. McManaman!
Whatever's the matter, Mr. Brownlow?
My newspaper.
Newspaper?
My Race Goers Weekly on my chest of drawers.
That old paper on your chest of drawers?
Yes.
I threw it out with the rubbish. It was half burned.
What rubbish? Where?
The rubbish in the cellar. I wrapped the potato peelings in it. How's the other one? Well, I wasn't slow. Half burnt it was, like I said.
Got it.
What do you want it for, Mr. Brownlow?
Want it for? This is... Oh, nothing much.
The answer to your prayers, Wells?
Very much so.
I thought local papers. They've got more colour and detail and smaller scale stories. Your writing seems at its best when you're dealing with the very particular.
I didn't know you'd read anything of mine.
Oh, I came across something. Now, there must be something in here you can use. Something to inspire you. 87-year-old woman wins ballroom dancing competition.
Don't think so.
Stray donkey interrupts roadworks.
Perhaps a little lacking in immediate drama.
Come on!
Well, 900 quid.
Told ya.
One more like that, I'll be able to retire. 900 quid.
You couldn't earn that in 5 years!
Wherever have you been to, Mr. Brownlow?
If you only knew, Mrs. McManaman. I've been where no man has been before. I've also been to Kempton Park.
Where'd you get that hat?
Where did you get that hat? Where did you get that tile? Isn't it? Oh, lovely one and just a proper style. I should like to have one just the same as that. Your rooms are very nice, Mrs. McManaman, but they're not suitable for dancing.
You are a card, Mr. Brownlow. I don't know what's come over you.
No more done I neither. My old mother used to say to me, God rest her soul,
that life was full of surprises. But a year's rent in advance. Wherever I go, they'd say hello. Where did you get that at?
No luck yesterday, but we've only just started. I bet you we found something today.
What?
Nothing. Here.
Woman gives birth on Blackpool Tower. Youth with wooden leg walks tightrope across Strand. Vicar on public nuisance charge after christening. What kind of newspaper is this, anyway?
I to guess what you'd like to be widely read.
What is it?
It would be out of place of me to say it. The cravat.
I wore it for you.
I thank you for the thought, but on reflection, I think it's a mistake.
Better without.
Yes.
Then the cravat must go. Perhaps you would...
Wells. I think I found your story.
I sincerely hope it's good.
The pub that broke the bookmakers.
What you got for the next race, Mr. Brownlow?
Hang on a minute. Concerto.
That's 8 to 1.
8 to 1? Tell you what, why didn't you do a double with the last race? Laszlo's return.
Well, that's the favourite. 3 to 2 on.
Yeah, there'll be a rumour going round he was coughing last night. It'll grow to 9 to 5.
How much are you going to put on then, Arthur?
All of it.
That's going a bit, innit?
Every penny, Chaz. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Right, come on. Let's go and find a bookie.
Lucky devil. Come on!
There you go. Keep the change.
Yeah. Buy yourself a new horse.
Very kind of you.
Come on.
Hello, Maggie. Champagne for everybody.
Oh, yes, Mr. Brownlow. You had a good day then, Mr. Best.
Terrible, terrible.
Oh, I am sorry.
I didn't make a penny more than 10,000.
£10,000?
And I scarce reached 15.
You ought to think about getting married, Arthur.
I don't know about that. I'll find a girl who'd have me first.
I'm sure you wouldn't have any trouble in that department, Mr. Brownlow. Handsome man like you.
Something burning. It's that blessed fire again. Haven't you been on to that sweep yet, Maggie?
He came today whilst you were at the races.
He hasn't done much.
He hasn't done anything. Anyway, yous wasn't here, so I didn't have no money to pay for him.
Could have taken it out of the till.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you could.
Anyway, he's coming next Wednesday.
Do you know what I think? I think Arthur here deserves a vote of thanks.
Here! For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. And we'll have an even better one next week.
Isn't that the man from the cafe?
I hope so. Cheers!
The man who got upset?
Yeah. Of course, today's our last day of racing.
How do you mean?
Why?
Sure. Pint of heavy, please, and port and lemon for me, girl.
This last week's the only week I've been into the future. I don't know anything after Tuesday morning when I had the accident. Tomorrow's Sunday, there's no racing on Monday.
Well, then there's something else we can bet on.
We've made enough, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, you say accident. Well, couldn't you have the same accident again?
Yeah, Denzel's right, you know. You could go into the future again, then come back again, and we'd be right where we are now. Then we could double up on everything we've made.
No, it's bloody dangerous what happened to me. I might get killed next time.
Well, if you're going to be selfish...
We've got enough to live like kings for the rest of our lives. Come on, drink up.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Maggie, what's that? Excuse me.
Chaz, where you going?
Oh, a captain needs to do his business.
No, it's Saturday. This is when he gets knocked down and killed. You take him out there now.
Where's he gone?
There he is.
No, don't find him. Go quietly.
Oh. All right, Captain.
It's all right, Captain. There's a good boy. Good boy, Captain. See, he's all right.
Here, hold his collar till the cart's gone past.
Captain!
No! Chaz! Chaz! Come on, Chaz. You're all right.
He's dead. No. Here is when Brownlow told me his story, and when I recorded it.
But you must know the story he told you.
Patience, Miss McGillivray.
You weren't to know, Mr. Brownlow. You were trying to save the dog.
If only I just left things alone.
Where's the Racegoers Weekly you told us about?
Yeah, just move you for a sec, miss.
Extraordinary. Look at this, Jane. Monday, June the 10th. And today's Saturday the 8th. So you bought this paper on Monday?
No, I usually buy on a Monday, but the shop didn't have it in, so I got it on the Tuesday.
Let me get a note of this. Oh, blast. Have you any paper, Mr. Brownlow?
Here, use my lab book. It's empty.
Thanks. All right. So, on Tuesday, June the 11th, you bought this paper, and it was in your pocket when you had the accident?
Yeah.
And then you go into the pub, the Royal Oak, and you know everything that's going to happen.
Right.
You lived through it all before.
That's what I keep telling you.
And you're quite right. You had lived through it all before. But in the past.
In the past?
Mr. Brownlow didn't go into the future. You went back into the past. We're in your past now.
But I never met you before.
No, because you changed things this time. You brought the paper back with you into the past. You took advantage of this fact and used it to earn a small fortune. News of this got into the Daily Clarion. I read about it. We read about it, and we came to find you.
But it doesn't make any difference, does it? Past or future, I've still been through it.
You're quite right, Mr. Brownlow. Past, present, future. They're all the same. It's as if we're reading a book, and you alone have picked it up at the wrong page.
Ah, yes. But if you pick up a book at the wrong page, you might read some pages again, but you can't rewrite them.
No, you're right. Not reading a book, then. Writing a book. And you lose the last few pages you've written, and you have to redo them. And you remember bits and pieces of what you've written before, but some of them you don't like. And so, you change them.
Well, what difference does it make?
Well, the difference is this. On Tuesday...
Well, next Tuesday.
If you like, whenever Tuesday, June the 11th, next comes around, you will be confronted with the same fault in your generator. If you mend it in the same way that you mended it last time, you will have the same accident and you will go back a week in time once more. Or you can choose to ignore the fault or mend it in some other way, and then you will continue through time in the normal way. The next day will be Wednesday the 12th, and next Thursday the 13th, and so on and so forth. But if you did have the accident...
And you chose to go back again...
You would go back to Tuesday, June the 4th.
And I'll be poor again.
Yes.
But your friend would be alive.
I wish it could be, I really do.
It can.
No, it can't.
Why not?
I can't have the accident again. I gave up my job yesterday. I don't think it'd be too easy to get it back again either.
Oh, no. What have we here? You must have shorthand, Miss McGillivray. Any good?
I don't use it much.
But surely better than mine.
I take all my notes in longhand.
But you haven't taken a note of a single word I've said.
I'm blessed. Cursed, however you'd have it, with, perfect recall.
Got it. I've got the answer.
Morning, George. That's hard-earned money, that is. Well, all right, not particularly hard-earned.
Just paper. If you decide to change things, it won't exist anyway.
All right, no. Just the thought of giving it to him.
Won't exist for him either.
That's true. But you can't bring people back to life.
You've been through all this.
That's confusing. Mind you, I could try not interfering when he takes Captain out to do his business. Then it would all happen like it did the first time. Better Captain dying than chance.
Quite. Come on.
You called me an ape.
Oh, Mr. Kimball. An ape.
Well, I thought... Well, you know.
A blundering, incompetent ape.
Well, I wasn't to know, was I?
No, you see, he wasn't to know.
I didn't know what?
Well, that you aren't. Well, that he was... Look, Mr. Kimball, you better take this.
Here.
I can make a story out of this, you know.
Not if Mr. Brownlow decides to go back again, you can't.
Why not? Oh, I see what you mean. I won't have met him.
Not unless he takes the Race Goes Weekly back with him, succumbs to temptation, and we read about it again.
Damn. I need this story. The notebook.
There won't be anything in it. It hasn't happened yet.
Damn blast. Come on, let's go and see what he's decided.
You're hoping he's going to do it all again, aren't you?
Of course I'm not. Of course I'm not. Good Lord.
Mr. Brownlow!
Oh, hello.
We were just coming to see you.
Oh?
We wondered if you'd just...
I've decided.
And?
I'm going back again. I can do it all right. I just won't do anything unnecessarily different. I'll be careful. I mean, I know the dangers now. I won't try and save Captain, because I know if I do...
burning.
It's the pub!
Maggie! She can't be dead. She can't be dead. Maggie's dead. They couldn't get her out.
Oh my God, this one meant to happen. You can't tamper with the past. It's a house of cards. You take one card out, the whole lot tumbles down on you. I can see that now.
I should have been here when that sweep came.
Well, I suppose me and my mates will have to stay poor after all. Still, we had a bit of fun. Oh, just so as I don't get tempted.
You're a good man, Mr. Brownlow.
Oh, I don't know about that. Bye.
Goodbye, Mr. Brownlow.
Step carefully, lift going down.
Go on, baby. Oh, here we go then.
We're going to need another barrel from the cellar, Mr. Best.
We've got enough beer for tonight. Evening, Mr. Brownlow. The usual?
Thank you, Denzel.
And the Queen, and the King, and the Ace.
Oh. Warm enough for you?
Oh, I don't mind what it is, because, of course, I'm down underground all day.
All right for some.
Like the usual, please, Denzel.
You're paying the nail if you do.
How do you mean?
Your credits run dry here.
Hello, Chaz. Where'd you spring from?
I was having a drink with Leslie Gammond in a saloon bar. Oh. Saw you come in. You right, Arthur? Done it well, mate.
Oh, no, I'm all right, thanks.
Maggie, haven't you been onto the sweep about this blasted chimney?
Good to see you, Chaz. Captain.
Come on, we'll get the beer. Leslie Gammond bought him a bowl of stout.
Captain. Good boy, Captain. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, damnation!
I bet there's a story not a dozen yards from where we're sitting.
Hello, Molly. All right, Arthur, you coming down Campton Park? I've got a couple of tips from that stable lad I know.
I'll be right with you. Just give me half the tick, Harry. Package for Mr. Wells.
What?
Who's he?
No idea. It's been burned. What is this?
Looks like a lab book. That's my signature.
Jane Robbins, June the 7th.
But that's...
Next week's date. My handwriting. Account of somebody called Brownlow.
Never heard of him.
No sign of him.
I told you that there was a story not a dozen yards away.
So you did, Jane.
I think I need to sit down.
And you never published such an extraordinary story?
I talked about it at length with Gibbon. By publishing the story, by making public the alterability, the malleability of time, might I not disrupt the current time stream with disastrous consequences, just as Brownlow himself had started to do? I still don't know the answer to that question. But it seemed to be an experiment I could hardly afford to make.
Did you ever try to track Arthur Brownlow down again?
I was tempted. Believe you me. But I couldn't do so for precisely the same reason. People had died who shouldn't have in Brownlow's brief alternative reality. I gave the notebook to Gibbon for analysis. Had its short journey through time altered its physical makeup somehow? He found nothing. Nature holds some mysteries she will not readily give up. And now, Miss McGillivray, it is time for you to give up a mystery or two. You are no more a journalist than I am a market gardener. You don't have shorthand. Come. Blessed with perfect recall, my eye. And Arthur on the telephone, talking about his rising star, the exact same phrase you used, as if you were reading from the same play script. Though I grant you are the better actor.
Thank you. I told them you'd see through this charade.
Told who?
A government department that doesn't exist, in a building with no address. All this began 6 months ago with the death of Professor Gibbon. His was one of the key scientific minds of the war effort. He was a national asset. When he died, a whole team was assigned to continue the areas of research he'd opened up, and amongst his effects, securely hidden, they found a strong box.
What was in it?
Well, this notebook, for a start. With Jane Robins's name in it, that's what led us to you. And other items of special significance, it seemed to the professor, items perhaps of the highest scientific significance. You knew Professor Gibbon.
And you want my help. Show me this strong box, then, and I'll decide. Gibbon had his reasons for shutting it away, and I'm sure they were good ones.
That's not the answer my superiors wanted.
It's the answer they're getting, Miss McGillivray.
Ellen.
Let's get your coat, Ellen.
Evening, Mark. Evening.
Come on.
under here.
Thank you, Corporal.
Mum.
Oh, good God alive. Good God.